Well, first and foremost, thank you so much, Socorro. These in the lab interviews, I've just been so excited and looking forward to doing these. You've been one that has been on top of my mind for so long to just get to know you and your journey better. So just, I want to let you know too that witnessing your growth so far has been incredible. Like just from where we first started, when you first joined the social sales lab and where you are now, and just seeing your commitment to success has been really inspiring. So that was one thing I want to commend you on, like staying
Thank you.
down. You've been nonstop, even through all the ups and downs you've had in
Oh
life.
yeah.
You've never given up. And I think that's a huge key to your growth.
Oh yeah. And last year was a lot of downs but I kept striving to like succeed, and just where I'm at today is goes to show you got to keep going and fighting and working at it and learning it and figuring it out. I mean, just don't give up. Can't give up. And I'm just so excited to be where I'm at now today. I would have never thought I'd be here.
Oh my
God. Ever. And to be like from last year till now is just mind blowing to me. So,
oh my gosh.
I'm just, thank you.
Excited to hear about that, and so happy and grateful that you decided to share with us. So, so let's get started. What I want to know, Socorro, first and foremost, can you just tell us, where you're sitting, what industry you're in, and where you were when you first found out about the social sales lab?
Okay, so I have an online boutique store, and I started it about 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years this May. And I was looking into online, just trying to figure out ways on how to build up my store. And about 2 years ago, I joined a team or a training with another group, and it was exciting, of course, trying to understand it, trying to figure it out. But it was very, the training had so much information, it was overwhelming for me. But I still kept trying to figure it out. And then maybe a year after training, getting into that training, I was actually seeing a lot of your ads popping up, and I just kept like, God, who is this girl? Who is it? I mean, look at like your energy, your vibe, and I just kept seeing you popping up, and I'm like, why? I mean, you were popping up like every day on my feed, and I was just like, how is she doing this? How is this happening? And so I decided to join one of your lives, and you just got me. I mean, you're so down to earth. You're so like, you just clicked. I just felt like your energy, and then the fact that you have Q&As every week. That was my, like, you got me there, because I didn't have that feature from my other training, where it was just, they did have weekly lives, but it was only the person talking and not taking in any questions. So it was just so different. And once joining your course, you simplified it big time for me. Like you just simplified it for me. And I was able to start making sales quickly. I was just mind blowing from I think it was less than a week after joining your course, I started already gaining some sales that I hadn't before. And I mean, now today, or this month, or actually last month, I hit my first 100K sales. And it's just mind blowing. It's mind blowing. It was the last day of the month, and yep, I just had that. Our store lets us know the status of the day, and earlier in the day, I was just like, am I going to really hit it? Am I going to hit that 100K today, the last day of the month? And it happened about 5 p.m, and I was just mind blown. I was like, oh my God, this is just a dream. Like, this is crazy good. But I was just like, my husband was sleeping, and I'm like, wake up, I just hit a milestone I never thought I'd do. And now here we are, second month, and I've already passed that goal, and it's just more goals. I mean, just it's crazy. It's been pretty good. So
that's incredible. When you were telling me earlier, I didn't know you meant for this month. I thought
this month. Yes, this month I've already passed 100. I think I'm at now, let me see. I'm on my phone here, but let me kind of give you that's estimated amount. I'm at 116 already for sales this month, and I've got 2 more days or 3 more days to go. So
wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So when you first started, I know you saw my ads, but you were in another training that wasn't maybe the best fit. And then you decided to join the lab. So where were you in business, sales wise, and just where were you when you started the social sales lab?
So I was looking at my sales from last year, and I mean, I was generating about maybe $1,000 a month within about a month, and then like gradually got like 2,000, but it wasn't consistent. Like my sales I wasn't having sales daily. It was like, I don't know, one day I'd sell like $300, and in 2 or 3 days I'd sell $400 or $500, but it wasn't consistent. So now, I mean, daily I wake up and I have sales, or it's just consistent. It's nonstop. So that's a big difference from last year to now. So what I made last year in 1 month, I now make in 1 day. So it's crazy. It's just crazy.
So when you first started the social sales lab, how long have you had? Oh, you said you've had your store about 3 years now. And
yeah, it'll be 3 years now.
You've been in the lab for how long now?
It was a year ago this past March. So
amazing.
We're in April now. So
wow. So the first 2 years you struggled with your store? With sales. Okay.
Well, just trying to understand how to, getting to understand Facebook ads and so forth. And of course, I mean, there's still learning I'm doing now. I mean, just testing, actually. There's just ways that's the word I needed to use, but testing, but understanding it now is so much, it's just crazy how I was struggling a lot more to understand it prior to joining your course.
Okay, got it. So some of the actual strategies and techniques inside that you think is what was like the most helpful to getting you up and running right away?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
And so your deciding factor, you said, had a lot to do with maybe the energy and the presentation. Was there any reason why you may have been hesitant to join before? Like, you said you were in another program. Was there anything like, well, I don't know, and just another course, or
well, because I invested in that training, that's where I was kind of like, okay, is it too, that's where I was just hesitant because of the money that I had just spent, actually it had been about a year prior to when then I had joined your course. So that was just my whole concept. Like, am I going to understand it, or is it going to just be too much information again, But like I said, when I joined in your live chat or live feed when that particular day, you got me hooked by sharing or expressing that you do weekly Q&As, and that we're able to ask the questions, and we're able to reach out to you, and you'll look at our ads and so forth. And it was just like, oh, that's what I need, because I was stuck. I didn't know, I didn't know what I was doing right and wrong. So that's where you got me big time.
Okay. So would you feel like, outside of the layering, that till this day, do you think that the Q&As, I know we've got the live coaching, we've got the community, which right now is Facebook, we're moving that. And then obviously the course material. Do you think a combination or one or the other kind of helped you out most?
For me, I feel like the Q&As helped me out the most. Okay. I mean, I've gone through your videos even again a couple of times where I still trying to understand it, but I'm a visual person where it's just hearing other people and asking almost the same questions that I had or have, that it was just like, I had several like those aha moments on the Q&As where I was like, oh, okay, just okay. So then after the Q&As, I'd go and create a couple of ads. And and then it was just like, okay, it started like to work, and it started, so it was just, I just kept testing and testing and testing. And there was a time you had Monique on, when Monique was live, and she gave me a big aha moment where, it was just like, I used to always just kind of think inside the box. And like, okay, because, I have the boutique store. So I would always think about, just targeting people that like shoes or people that like clothes or jewelry, where, with Monique, I just started thinking, oh my God, target celebrities, target just anything and everything, pretty much. We're not limited. And I felt like at the time prior to that, I was just like, okay, I just felt like I was just thinking inside the box. And now my mind is like, wow, like, I'll be on my phone and I see an ad and I'm like, oh, I could have my stuff right there too. So it's just I'm always like, my whole mindset now has just changed, where I'll just be out in the car and I'm like, oh, that's something I should try to target, or that's something, I could look and see if that's possible, see if they're in our fixed, targeting audience. And it's just my mindset has just changed tremendously on now how to advertise and target. So
I love that you just mentioned mindset too, because that's a big part of, I think, the success, just things that we have seen aligned with our most successful, students in the lab, and those who are still kind of struggling. A lot of it revolves around mindset. Was there anything that you feel you had to change when you came in order to be open to seeing this crazy growth and success that you've had?
One of the things that was always like my fear was every time I saw that message, oh my God, I just got a brain fart.
Learning limited.
A learning limited. That thing is just bad news that they put that on there, because it screws with our minds, and just then, like, having these weekly lives, and having to hear it a couple of times where it's like, if it's profitable, ignore it, just let it keep going, and that's where I was like, okay, don't touch it, Socorro. Don't try to modify it right now. Don't just, and that's what I was doing for a while, like a couple of months. I just would keep like, oh no, get in panic mode and then start switching it up. Like, the whatever, just messing it up. And now that mindset is like, oh, okay, Facebook, you're just trying to mess with my head, but you're not, So that's different. I'm just like, okay, I'm not spazzing. I'm not in like anxiety mode. Like, oh no, it's not going to be good. And it's just different.
Yeah. Okay. That is a big one. Learning limited is definitely not as big of a deal as it's made out to be. It's letting you know. And I know I say this a lot in the program, but it's letting you know that the conversions that you want to receive, they're not able to really estimate or predict that will happen with your budget that you have set and with the time frame, but it does not affect what the results could be. And I think that a lot of times people will pull the plug because they see that, when in reality they're just telling you, hey, beware, we're not sure how many conversions we can get for you, which is like, they don't know regardless until it happens. So after a while of leaving that on and seeing the conversions, obviously if it's profitable, it makes sense, then eventually get out of learning limited, where sometimes they're just glitchy. I have some ads that have been on for a while, and it takes so long for it to get out of that phase, but yet we're seeing crazy return on ad.
Yeah, same here. Like, it'll be going for a month or two and it's still got that message. And I'm like, but you know what? My ROA is good, and I'm making money, and I'm not going to shut it off. And that was the thing. Like, you get that message within a two or 3 days from just having your ad go live. And that's where it was just like, I constantly found myself like, editing and changing and this and that for my ads for a while. But yes, now that whole mindset is like, no, it's so different.
Yeah. And even testing, you said you had to, by just applying what you learned in the lab, do you think that testing is something that has also helped you that would be
Oh, yes.
as well?
Yes. Testing. I just recommend everybody you got to keep testing. That's it. I mean, one audience also may be doing well for a while, but it might eventually like start decreasing in your sales, and you just change it here. The other way is like the demographics, how you shared that about a month ago in our Q&A, and that was another aha moment where I was like, oh my God, I hadn't been doing that. Let me go do that. And now I made some modifications, and that, that new ads generating good sales, so it's just constantly learning new stuff, learning new techniques, learning like, just those things I hadn't tried, but it's just constantly having to test. And another thing too is I would only have maybe 5 to 10 ads running, if that, a few months ago. But now I'm like, I don't know, I've got maybe like 15, 20 ads running. And, that's also what's helped increase my sales. So I'm just constantly like, I don't know, honestly too, kind of financially, I've just like, I've got it in my mind where, obviously I got to spend money to make money. So that's where I'm just like, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, so let's do it. Where at first, of course, I was nervous because, you're scared to lose out that money. But then another mindset of mine has changed was, well, if that ad's not doing well, at least it was hitting some people and they saw my store. Yeah. And maybe they might not have, bought anything at the time, but I'll be able to target them on my bottom of funnel. So, it was just that kind of mindset. Like, look, I'm not losing out completely, even if that ad didn't perform well, I still had some people looking at it,
right.
So.
Right. And that's where the retargeting comes in. And that's where most of your sales are coming in. Would you think, is it not so much from the top, but more from the middle and bottom, or?
Right. Honestly, the top of my funnel is where my revenue is like crazy. Yes. It's a lot of cold audiences that I trip out on. So yes.
That's amazing. Okay. So now let's get to some numbers, right? I know you said when you first came in, you started seeing some sales. Do you mind sharing what that growth looked like over the last year of you, or over this year of you being in the lab?
So as far as like last year, I just checked my sales from last year. I was like at 2,000. Let me see. I took a screenshot. 1 second. Last year, my sales was $2,917 in that 1 month of April. Actually, yes. And we're in April now. So yeah, it's,
oh my gosh.
And I'm already at 100 and what was it? 15 I shared a little while ago.
Wow. Okay. So to someone new that's probably going to be watching this and thinking, that sounds almost too good to be true, right? How did that occur? I know it took a year, but when you first joined, you started to see sales immediately. Do you know about how much of an increase you had when you first joined the Social Sales Lab? Like you said, you started to make sales right away.
It gradually did, because I mean, I remember actually my first $1,000 day was in May. It was like, I think May 1st or May 2nd, because it was right around my dad's birthday. So we were out here barbecuing, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it was just like the first $1,000 day. After that, I started having several $1,000 days. And then, but it was like May, and then July, it was just my sales. It started every month. It just started increasing in sales. I want to say I probably made like 10 or 15 or 30K. And so it was like 2K to like 30K within like 2 months of joining your course.
Wow.
Yes, I want to. At least, yeah. So I was just like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, and yeah, it it's mind blowing.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
just mind blowing. And it just, I had some Facebook ads and other things that happened within life that occurred last year. So my mindset was on other things. But yet, the last 2 months of last year, Facebook shut off my store. So it was from October, November, December. It was like the end of October, but November, December, when I was just trying to appeal and appeal and appeal.
So your Facebook ad account had gotten
Was
shut down.
it was totally on freeze, like I couldn't do nothing. So well, my dad passed away in August, and then like August, September, October was when I had the issues with Facebook. And then it was December 30th when I got this email from Facebook saying your account is back up. And it was like, okay, this is crazy good, And finally, because I had just kept trying to figure this out.
Sorry,
what was that?
What during that time that your Facebook ad account had been shut down, do you mind sharing what you did during that time to appeal? I know you said you were appealing. Was there anything particular? Because some people have struggled through this and they sort of just, give up. Yeah.
Well, because Facebook was sending me messages that because I was selling bathing suits, I guess there's too much skin showing, and so I was appealing that, just different things, I guess, like some of the verbiage I'd use on my titles that were being questioned. And so I was trying to make those modifications. And then I guess too, it was the time there was voting. The voting had something to do with why, I guess a lot of other accounts were being placed on hold.
Yeah.
But anywho, I just kept appealing and asking for assistance. And I mean, honestly, I don't know exactly what finally they decided to let me go live, but I mean, I must have sent about 20 appeals. I kept going and going and going and going. It was just, they're probably tired of hearing from me, but I just kept trying and trying, because sometimes you just don't know if you're actually is anybody out there,
Right.
But it was over 2 months of trying to get my store back up. And I just recommend that anybody that's going through it, just keep on at it. Don't give up. It's a headache, and it's a big downer, when you're finally generating some sales, and your store's finally kicking butt, and then it's the rug's pulled from underneath you, but you got to keep fighting, you got to keep going at it. You've invested so much time, and
that's
so much time, and then plus the money, but I mean, good Lord, there's days I only sleep for 3 hours because, I was just trying to figure out how to do my ads, and plus, working a full-time job, but other things, it's just, I was just so determined to make this happen.
Yeah.
You just got to have that mindset. You put so much time in it. You built your store. You've done so much. Don't let that discourage you from just giving up. Don't. Because it'll eventually pay off. Look where I'm at now. I could never have thought I would be here. It was a dream. I'm now living that dream, and it's just crazy good.
So speaking of that, I mean, that was such a great, that whole moment just about your struggles and what you had gone through. Because I was going to ask specifically about that too. Was there any ups and downs, which I know about, but letting them know.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had given up, you wouldn't even be where you were. You would not be experiencing the growth.
We wouldn't be having this conversation today.
No, I would have still wanted to interview you. I've been bugging you for a year.
No.
But oh my gosh. Okay, so when it comes to that dream, right? That's a key thing I want to touch on. When you first joined, I know I always ask about a freedom number. Do you remember what yours was?
Yes, I think I said like 5 or 10K a month.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yes, yes.
Wow. And at that time in your life, in your business, lifespan, it was probably like, that would be amazing if I could just hit
Yeah.
goal. And how confident were you in hitting the freedom number? Were you a little skeptical?
I was skeptical. Yes. Yes, I was skeptical because I was thinking, God, there's just so many boutiques out there. Why will mine be better than all these others that are, already that have been in the mix for a couple of years now? And so it was just that kind of intimidation, like, will it be possible? Just the unknown, that whole unknown feeling. And it was just that kind of skeptical, like, would I be able to do that? Could I ever retire? Like, early, just those things. It's like, you dream it, you want it. And I mean, I still feel like I'm in a dream. I still feel like this is a dream. This past weekend, me and my husband went out to San Diego, and we were out there celebrating my goddaughter's 21st birthday. And it was just this whole like we could just buy anything off that menu we want. Like, instead of being like, okay, no, we'll do the $20 plate. It was like, what do we want? We're going to get it. Like, it was just no fine. Like the whole, that feeling like I've dreamed for a while, just to be able to just do stuff and not feel like, I got to watch what we're spending. It was just like a splurging weekend we had. It was like, okay, we got that. We see that. We want that. Okay. And it was, I haven't done that. So it feels good. It feels good to finally be able just to have that feeling, so.
Oh my gosh. I was just going to ask that too. Like, how has the change, how has this changed your life, if it has at all? Obviously, we talk a lot about sales and we talk about revenue and all this good stuff, but I was just going to ask that, has this affected or impacted your actual day-to-day life in any way, aside from just, you got more money,
Right. Well, I mean, of course, I want to I talk about, or I want to retire, but I'm scared right now too, because of the whole Facebook thing that happened to me last year for like having my ads shut off. So it's just that, like, I have to get my accounts, making sure that somebody, set up with another family member, which I'm doing that. So, I mean, it's just, my mind just is just like, okay, I want to be able to just do things, buy things that I don't have, I want to just get a river home, talking about motor home, talking about the jet ski toy. I mean, it's just crazy, because I'm like, oh my God, we could actually eventually do these things soon. So,
so exciting. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's talk numbers now. So now that you said, you're currently sitting at about, well, last month you hit your first 100K month. This month is not even over. We've got almost a week or a few days left.
mm-hmm.
You're at about 15. So can you share a little bit about your ROI when it comes to that? Because, a lot of people they'll hear these numbers and they'll wonder, well, is she actually profitable, or is he actually making any money? Do you mind sharing what your return on ad spend looks like? Is it, a 3, a 2, a 4? Like, what these days, what does it look like for you?
So when you mean your so like my ROA is, it can be 6, it can be anywhere up to like 2 and above is what I aim for. So, and it fluctuates. We know it fluctuates daily. Some days can be like, 18, it's just, it varies, but I always try to make sure it's under like the 2.0. I mean, it's above 2.0 on my ROA. So, that's like just, another day, like my daily goal, just looking at my ads and making sure that they're at a good ROA, and of course shutting those off that aren't. So
Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk about let's do a little future casting now. Now that you are, I mean, you're officially that you're in, millionaire status is 83,000 a month. That's like what the goal is to hit, and you are exceeding that. So you are well on your way, if not already, to having a multi-million dollar business. What does your future look like? What are your plans with the store, with this business, or with anything else using the Facebook ad skill set that you now have?
Opening more stores,
Mm, love it.
more stores. Sharing with family and friends. I've been sharing with family and friends. Get into the business. Open up your online store. So but yeah, I definitely gonna open up some more stores, and maybe think about, who knows, maybe selling my store and just open up more stores and sell those stores and so on and so forth. So it's just different, just continue to profit and grow and grow and grow, and
Yeah.
that's just the goal. Just don't stop where I'm at. I got to keep going. So
Right. Amazing. Oh my gosh. And the most incredible thing about this all to me too is like this is all during a pandemic. This is like
yeah.
you joined, I think, right at the start of the whole coronavirus, and here we are a year
Mhm.
later, and you're living your dream. Like this is mind blowing on all
It
levels,
is. It is. It is.
and
Definitely
a lot of
is.
there's a big misconception too that when it comes to retail or e-commerce or whatever, that it's very difficult because during a pandemic, who's thinking about buying stuff online? And I'm like, oh no, no, no. That's
No,
not the
it's
case.
not the case at all. It's crazy, some of the stuff that's like sells like crazy in my store. That's, it's not a necessity. It's not
Yeah.
even a top. It could be just a home item, and it's like one of my top products. That's, one of my hot items. And yeah, it's just mind blowing. I'm like, wow, people are like struggling, but they want that home item pretty badly. So
That's
it's,
amazing. Oh my goodness. I'm just like, I'm so like honored to even have witnessed this, and to have been a very small part of your journey and story. And you really
oh
are.
my God, I thank you so much, Laurel.
So yeah, I'm just
We
so
got to
glad.
party it up.
Yeah, seriously. So, are there any last words or tips or anything that you want to share? Because I think I've got all my questions out, but I just wanted to hear from beginning to end how this has looked for you and, kind of what your future looks like.
Oh gosh, just don't give up. And you guys have, whoever has joined the social lab are in the right place to be. You've got, you're here to help us, and any questions we have, you and the team. And just whoever's in this journey, just don't give up, keep fighting. It'll happen. Just give it time. It's not going to happen overnight too. That's the thing. I noticed that some people have reached out to me and are, they expect change already so quickly. Now that I've been sharing with, some others that, what I'm doing, and they're trying to do what, they're also have Facebook ads, but they're just expecting like the overnight thing. And it's not. It's like, it can take some time. But gosh, Laura, I don't know. I just could, it's, my mind's just like scattered right now, because it's just don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up, and keep testing, 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 testing. Um,
Cool.
and it'll happen. It'll happen.
I mean, you're living proof of it. So
Yes.
watching your journey has been really inspiring. I hope that it will inspire others as well. And I know that you probably, like you said, have never thought that you would be here today.
No.
But I'm just really happy that the sharing of this information and obviously the implementation as well is able to help people, not just revenue wise, not just sale wise, like, oh, we help businesses. I'm looking to I'm looking at the bigger picture, and I just love your story because I hear how it's impacted more than just your business, you know, your day-to-day life, and even just getting you through some moments that were really hard, you know, personally and just like worldwide,
Right.
pandemic. It's you've been able to have that determination to come out on the other side winning every time. Have that positive mindset that I've always admired about you has
Thank
been really,
you.
really a light, you know, especially during some hard times. So I'm just so happy and excited.
Thank you. I'm so happy. Oh my God. And I thank you so much. I mean, you helped me get there. So I'm grateful for you and what you do and what you continue to do, you know, and I'm thankful, forever thankful.
Thank you. You did the work. So that's
yes, but you gave the tips, you gave them gems. So it's like, you know, and another thing is like, you know, don't stop going to your training. I mean, I've already been a year into it and I still go to your weeklies. I mean, I probably missed like maybe two or three of the weeklies, but I'm still there weekly, you know, and I'm still having those aha moments of something, you know, trying something. I mean, it's just like I said, you got to keep testing and learning. So
yes, amazing. Well, do you have any questions for me? Oh,
no, not at this time. Just thankful and appreciative.
wow. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Socorro.
Thank you, Laurel.
And out of your day. And, you know, I know there was a lot of back and forth with just getting on the call itself, but I'm just so appreciative of you for sharing
Thank
this
you.
and being so open, especially being that you're in drop shipping. So I'm really excited for you to get the sneak peek of the 2.0 as well.
Thank you. I can't wait to see it.
It's amazing. Yay. All right. Well, thank you so much. Have an amazing day. I know it's
too.
early. And yeah, we'll catch up soon.